Oh, the Legacy Pit thing, yeah. I'm not going. I'm not going. Who's going to the Maryland thing? Some people are asking. All right, a Scalding Tarn to start the game for me. And a fetch for Phil. Oh, it would help if I updated the overlay here. What is up with this overlay, man? Thing is annoying me. All right. RPF says not me. That's right, Force of Phil. Yeah, the companion app for deciding which player to go first, maybe not the best. Phil versus Roland. Oh, you'd rather watch Phil versus Roland? You're flying out to the open. Nice. Companion app, maybe not the best. I mean, it's been fine otherwise, but the deciding who goes first thing I haven't figured out yet. It does feel a little buggy though. I'll say that. Oh yeah, I just updated the graphic. It's actually me versus Phil. You guys should download Carbon. The creator is a regular at my shop. He's a goon, but the app is the best MTG counter app I've found. Okay, I'll look into it. I'm not the best with all the apps for the life totals and all that. I don't really know what's going on. Ragavan on the board for me, getting protected a bit. Treasure token on the board for me as well. Phil brainstorming here. A Ragavan for Phil was Swords to Plowshared. It's the only city that you can legally slap Taxi Hood as you cross the street and yell, "I'm walking here." Yeah, that's the stereotype, right? Is that the New York City stereotype that's daily life? What are your favorite New York City stereotypes or things you always wondered? Let's do and ask me anything about that. All right, chat's liking the odds for Phil here. Swords to Plowshares on the stack. Everyone is on a suit. Yeah, no, that's definitely not true. Why is so expensive to rent an apartment? Yeah. That's a complicated problem, but I think the shortest possible way for me to explain why apartments are so expensive in New York City is that we just have not prioritized and I mean this like as a country, building affordable housing. Supply is not meeting demand. Phil wins on style points alone. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't have a lot of bling. New Yorkers have inexplicably strong feelings about foods like pizza and bagels and how they're eaten. I think that's another stereotype. I've lived in New York City my whole life, and honestly, I really don't care. I have traveled, though, and I haven't really enjoyed pizza and bagels in other places. But I don't think that's the same thing. I'm just used to what I'm used to. Starter homes are 500,000 where I live, so yeah. It's about, people prioritize different things for where they want to live. I don't know. New York City pizza may be the only thing I miss about NYC, says Hesh Seed. That's fair. I mean, you don't have to like New York City. It could not. You're allowed to have it not be for you. Force of Will on Prismatic Ending targeting my Ragavan. So what do you think about protecting Ragavans in blue? I'll call it a blue mirror, even though it's not a mirror. But blue matchups like this, I prioritized protecting my Ragavan as much as I could. Was that wrong? Do you like that play? I pitched the foil days, yeah. Foil lemon cut days. In the current situation, yes, I think that's the move to an empty board. Yeah. I don't have a lot of reps with this Jeskai Ragavan deck, but in the end I was like, I don't really know if I should have been prioritizing protecting Ragavan as much as I did. Here's Retrofitter Foundry for me. Yeah, Dashing Ragavan versus Prismatic Ending decks is super good. All right, Prismatic Ending targeting my Retrofitter Foundry there. Prioritize the Foundry over the Ragavan in the end. And Prismatic Ending taking out the Snapcaster so my Ragavan can get in for another hit. And a Scalding Tarn exiled off the top. 4 treasures for me, it looks like there. Now, the reason I was regretting protecting Ragavan so much was that, oh man, another removal spell. Was that I just wasn't getting anything off the top of my own library, nor off the top of Phil's. Here's a Soul Guide Lantern. Exiling Swords to Plowshares. Actually, America did prioritize public health care, affordable housing, a good infrastructure in the early 20s, but it was eventually all privatized by big right-wing politics later on. I think you're right on that, Sven. Not an expert on what exactly happened in the 20s, but the prioritizing those things has definitely faded over the last 50 years. I hit your Ponder. Yeah, I did hit your Ponder. It just wasn't putting me as much ahead protecting the Ragavan as I had hoped, is my point. I'm not like way ahead in this game. I'm actually falling behind right now as a Jace has resolved now. Chicago Pizza is a casserole, says Side Norno. You know, Kevin, that you're absolutely right, and I never thought about that until now. We are living in the 20s. We are living in the 20s. Someday, someone will talk about days like today and say, oh, yeah, way back in the 20s. And you just blew my mind for a second in a way. Am I crazy? Or does talking about today as the 20s give it a different perspective? That's crazy. 3 Force of Will to Protect was a lot. Yeah, exactly. 3 Force of Will to Protect was a lot. And I was hoping, because I had nothing else really going on in my hand, I had Force of Will pitching days and all that stuff, that prioritizing protecting Ragavan would put me ahead in this game. And in the end, it did not. Chicago Pizza is like Brainstorm. Every other pizza is like Brainstorm. No matter how much better Brainstorm is, you'll always find Chicago Pizza diehards. HC Fox, are you okay? HC Fox might not be doing well, everybody. We've had some funny chats today. So far, HC Fox and Poing are winning the laughs from chat. I said that so New York, right? The laughs from chat. The laughs. Where does Greek style pizza fall in the pizza rankings? I honestly don't know. I'll be honest, I don't eat much Greek style pizza. Gyro meat. No, you're talking about like the like with the olives and olive oil, stuff like that, right? Is that what you're talking about? Fate seal me to the bottom. Taking 2. Brainstorm. And Brainstorm gets hard cast Force of Will countered. New England style pizza. Oh. Okay, maybe I don't know what Greek style pizza is. Gyro meat is good on pizza. Clam pie is an odd pizza that is delicious. We've had quite a few streams now where we end up talking about pizza. And maybe we should just do like a pizza stream. Like a mukbang, but pizza. New York style pizza is the best. Yeah. I think so, but I feel biased because I live here. So I don't really feel like I can say that comfortably. $500,000 channel point reward. Chris eats a Chicago pizza on stream. Oh man, no, too much heartburn. All right, Phil got that one off the impending ultimate. Has anyone ever tried Yuri on Maverick? I don't know if that's even completely necessary, LePark. There's not a lot of ETV triggers in that deck, right? Or are there? Wait, are there? I don't know. Maybe it's worth it. Wait, what? What is going on in Australia with the government texting residents and they have 15 minutes to respond? What? I have not heard about this. Someone post the news story in the Discord. I got to read that. Need more Doog streams. Yeah, Doog's on Twitch. Definitely follow the channel if you have not already. And if you appreciate channels like Doog's and mine and others, make sure you become a sub. Make sure you hit the donate links, pick up teas, the whole deal. Support us. Doog's puts on a good show. Has Phil got any new alters? I don't know. You'd have to ask Phil. I don't think so. Australia seems crazy with COVID from Europe. Really? Oh, okay. So not all of Australia are doing that great. Much like here in the States, by the way. We have some places in the United States that are just... It's pathetic at this point. It's pathetic. Is that okay word to use? The effort to keep people safe in some places in the United States is just pathetic. Big Guy, thanks for the follow. Welcome, welcome. I love his unglued altered lands. Yeah, me too. Justin, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. We're here running through some legacy matches from the LGS here in New York City, pre-recorded, and analyzing it all. So welcome. Welcome. I hope Justin had a nice stream. I already know Justin had a nice stream. I don't even have to ask. Appreciate it, Justin. I think you mean to say we have Florida. Yeah, I think it's just beyond Florida. It's just like I don't know. I mean, we have like anti-vax parades here, even in New York City. And by parades, I mean like 30 idiots just walking down the street yelling. But these people are everywhere. They're everywhere. Retrofitter Foundry on the board now for me. This is game 2, by the way. Game 1, Phil Blackman got there. Yeah, people's brains are broken. It really is like crazy what's going on. Prismatic Ending gets countered, and a Power Blast on Expressive Iteration. Trying to get ahead here. I have the Construct on board. I have the Foundry. Let's see if I can get this going. I'm sorry to hear that, Colby. Good on you to make the change, though. Yeah, only foil is the from the vault besides the masterpiece. Do we have politicians in real positions in the government doing that? In New York, thankfully, we do not. We do not have many of those people. There are a few in certain parts of New York City even. We have some crazy politicians, but overall, we've rid ourselves of those people here from being in charge of anything. Another expressive iteration, this one resolving, and the Retrofitter Foundry gets successfully exiled by Prismatic Ending, and now I'm attacking with a Servo and a Construct for 3. Fill down to 11. Ponder for me. Been getting a lot of compliments on my Ponders. I guess I do have some bling, if that's considered bling. Oh, I'm sorry, Colby. Here we have the greatest opposition to the government doing that in the peak. Argentina, you couldn't understand that. Believe me, I read enough international news to have some understanding that we are not alone in our struggles here in the United States. It's all perspective, I guess. Is that an R2D2 construct token? That's my servo token. It's a RK Post R2D2. Whoops. R2D2 servo token, and a Source of Plowshares on my construct from Force of Fill. Is that token DCI approved? It is, actually. I called the DCI, and they said, yeah, Chris, you're good. That servo token, because you bought it at a Magic Fest, is legal. I bought it from RK Post. He signed it. I shook his hand. I told him, thank you for selling me this authentic token, and it's good to go. Universes Beyond is already here. Yeah, Vial to 6. I'm ahead of the game. RK Post, anything is DCI legal. Yeah, I agree. By the way, this might be a stupid question. Maybe this is a dumb question. But is RK Post still painting for Magic cards? Or is he just doing tokens now? Like, are there new cards and new products coming out with art from RK Post? Does anybody know? Okay, Poing says yeah. Okay. He did the Batter Skull for Double Masters. Oh, okay. For a moment there, I thought I realized that he's not doing it anymore. Sorry, I keep bumping the mic. I'm not used to this setup. True Name Nemesis gets Power Blasted, and I pass the turn. The Servo token might get there, but it's probably not going to survive very long. Ponder for Phil. That'll resolve. He did art for Innistrad. Okay, cool. He did the Double Masters Exploration. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Joe Rogan. I don't really listen to his show, so I don't really know what's going on. I pay no attention to him. At a baseline with no medical literacy, you should have a huge amount of baseline skepticism that ivermectin would work versus COVID when worms are thousands of times larger. I don't know. Do we have any doctors in chat? Do we have any doctors in chat that can verify what's going on with the horse medicine? That whole story, I've just ignored since the beginning. I just don't even want to know what morons are doing. And by morons, I just mean people just taking random stuff without asking a doctor. All right, Teagues is a doctor. Teague, what's going on with this medicine that everybody's talking about? Oh, nice, Violet to 6. If you can, post those unmasks in our Discord. I'll show them on stream at some point. I got the vaccine and then for fun tried the horse medicine. Now I have a wicked mane, says Tyler. Oh, man. Oh, Teague's not really a doctor. Okay. I don't think doctors would watch this stream anyway. This is just not really sophisticated enough. 85% favored for Force of Phil, says chat. Damn. Doctors play Modern? Oh, man. What format do you think most doctors play? Jarl Berserk, thanks for the follow. Welcome. All right, no creatures on board for me. An important resolving, an important drawing a card. Kind of a slow game. There's a Saga with another counter. I believe it has 2 now. Yeah, it has 2. Played it last turn, right? Yeah. El Barbas, MTG, thanks for the follow. Welcome. I know a doctor who plays Modern and Legacy. Okay, Side Norna's got it. I know an orthopedic surgeon who plays Vintage. It's not impossible. Okay. Force of Phil says Vintage. Okay. So it sounds like doctors don't really play much Magic. Where are the Vintage events firing? I'm just playing. I know people play online. Yeah, RK Post has been all over the place. So here's some spice, chat. Octavia on the board for Force of Phil. What do you think of this sideboard card? Many doctors playing Modern in Italy. Very nice. Octavia Living Thesis. Oh, main deck. My bad. Main deck. Yeah, Octavia. What do you think? Because Phil and I were discussing Octavia quite a bit, both during the match and after it concluded. I think we were both in agreement that since this card was dropped in, I believe it was the Ikoria Commander decks. I personally wanted to try it. I just never got a chance to. And I don't know. You put your Unmasked in the Bling channel. There we go. There we go. Nice. Those are beautiful. I'll try to bring them up on screen between games. If it's not on Moto, I'm not playing around it, says Luna. It's not on Moto? All right. So Teague apparently has tried it. It doesn't work. Ethan Miles, thanks for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Source to Plowshare is targeting my construct, putting me up to 25. Pithing Needle is on Jace the Mind Sculptor, by the way. I think 60 card Death and Taxes is still an option you have. Octavia loses to Choke. Brainstorm in response to True Name Nemesis here. Trying to get this game locked up. We're running low on time on the clock, Phil and I, at this point. With some meta shifts, I think it could come back. New Pithing Needle art is dope. I agree. Legacy aside, how's everybody feeling about Midnight Hunt? Are people excited about it? Bored? Somewhere in between? How are we feeling, chat? All right, Terminus hits. So this game's never going to end now. Pithing Needle and Soul Guide Lantern on board for me. Drawing a card off the Soul Guide Lantern. Ponder. Yeah, I'm happy Midnight doesn't look like it's going to have a huge impact on Legacy. I think after Modern Horizons, Legacy and Modern could use a little break from getting new cards. We'll see what's in the Midnight Hunt Commander batch of cards, though. Yeah, Sword of Fire and Ice is nice. Some time to stabilize the meta is appreciated. I agree. All right, so here's the blowout, chat. I cast a Standstill, thinking the odds of Phil having a Snapcaster in hand were like, I mean, look at the size of his deck. How many Snapcasters could possibly be in this 2021 Miracles deck? And he had the damn Snapcaster in hand, and I got blown out. Was I wrong for slamming the Standstill with no creatures on board in 2021? Was that a misplay? Or did I get really unlucky there? With no backup? Yes. All right, it was a misplay. I don't have Shark Typhoon in the deck, but I do have Urza Saga. He did, yeah, he had mana open, so. You'd have waited for a Power Blast? Yeah. Oh, you mean if you had a chance? So, yeah, I mean, he could have, like, on his previous turn, let's say, I don't remember what happened in his previous turn exactly, but I remember feeling like, probably if he had a Snapcaster on his previous turn, he would at least, like, snap Ponder or something. I don't know. It was probably a dopey play for me, but yeah, that's true. Force of Phil. All right, breaking my own Standstill, giving my opponent 3 cards to Swords, a stupid Snapcaster. Pathetic. So now with both of us with full grips, after I took like 18 damage from a surprise Snapcaster Mage, let's see where I go from here. Ragavan gets dashed. It's a good start. And it gets Hydroblasted. Red Blast on the Hydroblast. Patience, much like defense, wins control mirrors. I agree. I've broken many of my own Standstills. I've played a lot of Standstill. It does feel bad. Sometimes it's fine, though. Depends on the matchup. All right, Swords on Ragavan here. And it's going to get exiled. Pithing Needles on Jace the Mind Sculptor in play, by the way. Brainstorm. Nice, Luanil. Yeah, there was a while, a couple of years ago, a couple of months where I just played Blue-White Standstill. That was my deck. And, yeah. Played a lot of Standstill. All right, another Ragavan gets hard cast here, and I'll pass turn. Back to Phil. Terminus on top, of course. I'll let that resolve. Sabo's Web comes down here. I had to read it. I forgot what that card did. It's basically a back to basics only for my Caracas on the board right now. It would also affect Urza Saga, of course. There's Jace the Mind Sculptor. Pithing Needles shutting it off at the moment, though. Phil is wildin'. Yeah. All right, people are liking Sabo's Web here. And a Prismatic Ending on the Needle, and I'll force that to protect myself from Jace. Pyroblast hits that. And now Pithy Needle goes into exile. Standstill goes into exile. Force of Will in the graveyard. And I'm getting... not Foretell. Fate Seal. I think so, turn 0 games. I think so. That's the only one. It's one of one. In every way. All right, fetching the last non-fetch land out of my deck, I believe. Caracas stays tapped. Important for Phil. Fate Seals the top card to the bottom. And Expressive Iteration here. I'll let that resolve. Jace the Mind Sculptor with 7 loyalty. Sabo's Web on the board, tapping down my useless Caracas. Useless right now, anyway. Because of Sabo's Web. I might almost pity my enemies if it wasn't so amusing to watch them die. That's actually my quote. They put that on a Magic card? Yeah, how is Counterbalance right now? I see some people running Counterbalance, and I'm not really feeling that. Force of Will on Ragavan. Flusterstorm hits that. So Ragavan now on the board for Phil. I fetch. Oh, do I still have lands in the deck? Let's see. Nope, I'm just shuffling. Phil's putting all my cards on bottom. I decided to shuffle. Try to get a little bit more out of this. Brainstorm here. I saw Force of Will. I saw a True Name, I think, in that batch. And a True Name coming down here for me. So, I think the advantage bar is still all the way to the right now. Phil ahead on board a bit. True Name pretty good, though. Phil's at 9. I'm at 6. Here's a Ponder from Phil, who has card advantage at the moment. Now notice, sorry, I bumped my mic again. Notice at the top of the screen, oh, he's shuffling it right now. But Phil only has a few cards left in the deck. I'm going to count them now. And I laid them out to try and let the camera see. I think there's about 6 cards left in the library at this point. Jace Brainstorm. There's like 3 cards left in the library while he's brainstorming. Phil fetching here. Getting one of the last 6 cards in the library out. Look how thin that library is, folks. It's looking a little iffy. I'm at 6. Phil's at 8. And another Jace. Trying to brainstorm again. Other Jace obviously dies. And here's Octavia, the Living Thesis. Again. We saw it get Terminus earlier, I believe. I think that happened. It's been a long game. 2 cards left in the library for Phil, it looks like. I'm at 6. Octavia Living Thesis on the board. I have a True Name. I have no cards in hand that I'm aware of. Thinking about fetching here. Not sure why. I think all my lands are in play. Do I have to shuffle for some reason? So much has happened. I think I'm thinking about shuffling. Phil has 2 cards in the library. Yep, I'm going to fetch just to shuffle. The random creature on the Miracle player side is Octavia, Living Thesis. Talking about that earlier. Ward 8. Magecraft. Target creature becomes an 8/8. Prismatic Ending the top deck, targeting Ragavan. It's fitting, right? When an ending takes out a Ragavan? Is that justice? I don't know. Phil with plenty of cards in hand here. 1 card left in the library, I believe. True Name to protect me from Octavia. A Dash Ragavan and a spell with Magecraft can win Phil the game. Camera got bumped there. Maybe HC Fox, maybe. I'm joking now with my friend off camera that the standstill won me the game. The standstill misplay won me the game because Phil's about to deck himself. Power Blast on my Brainstorm, and I pass. And that's the last card in Phil's library. Lays him out, and that'll be a draw. The match ends in a draw. The time just was running out. There was like a minute left on the clock when we wrapped up this game. So I'm going to report.